I've previously shared a video on the model called the waves of change, and if you haven't had a chance to watch it and are interested in how to implement lasting changes in your organization, then I've provided a link for you in the description below. Today I'd like to expand on the model and help you with some powerful questions you may be able to use to get more value out of the model. Now, the first question I would always ask myself when engaging with the change is whether I'm taking ownership of the change or whether I'm simply leaning back and blaming and complaining. If you're interested in making a change happen, then engage with it. And it doesn't matter which role you have or which job title you have or which mandate you have. Everyone in the world can make change happen. And especially with a model like the waves of change, it's actually designed for everyone to engage with the change. So get on board. Now, once I've chosen to get on board, the first thing I look at is the people I'm trying to affect and what their world looks like. And the question I would ask myself is what it's like to be in that person's shoes. If I was them, what would make me want to engage with the change and actually embrace it? And what's holding me back? If I, as a change agent, don't understand why people are resisting the change and what it would take to actually make them engaged, then I have very little chance of success in the long term. I can force people to change short-term behavior, but I cannot make other people change who they are and how they choose to behave on the long term. Secondly, we need to evaluate how we're behaving. See, you're part of the group that's already on board. And how are you behaving to either hinder or support them in getting engaged in the change? Are you actively trying to make it easier for them to engage? Or are you doing something that's holding them back? If you're interested in making the change happen, you have to make the effort. Now, once I've evaluated how we behave as a group, I can look at myself. And every day I'll ask myself at least one question. What has been the most important thing for me today? Was it that I made a change, or was it that other people changed? And I'm not saying that it's always you who has to change everything about yourself, but be very aware of what you expect to happen. Are you expecting something from yourself, or are you expecting something from someone else? And remember, you own the change. So it starts with you. Now, the second question I'd ask is what I've actually done. Which behaviors have I actively changed to support our change, to make things better? And be specific. You need to look yourself in the mirror and be concrete about what you've done and which impact you think it's had. And then we can reflect as a group. How have we as a group changed behavior and done more to get the other people engaged, the ones we're trying to affect? And what have we done that goes against it? Because trust me, all human beings will do something that's not ideal. And the trick is to be aware of it so you can act on it. And again, be very specific. What have you done that's worked for the better, and what have you done that's worked for the worse? Once we've gotten that in place, we need to update our transparency. And if we want to be transparent, the first thing we need to think about is, at which level do we want to be transparent? Are we simply being passively transparent by updating a board inside our own room behind closed doors? And if people come knock on the door, they can look at it. Or are we being actively transparent? Meaning going out to the people we're trying to affect and inviting them in. Are we asking them to understand what we're trying to do? Are we asking for their opinions? Are we involving them? Please be aware of how you're transparent, because the outcome will be fundamentally different. And then finally, we can look at the impact. Out of all the things we've done, which impact has it had? Has it had a positive or a negative impact? And in order to answer that question, you need to engage with the people you're trying to affect. And if we have a clear picture of what we've done and which effect it's had, we have the ability to turn up the good and get rid of the bad. And if we constantly turn up the good and get rid of the bad, the change will accelerate. And then we can go again. Understand the people we're trying to affect, look at our behavior, change our own, evaluate what we're doing, share the knowledge, and learn even more. Now, this was an update on the waves of change, and there are a ton of other questions you could have asked. If you have any questions I haven't put up here, then please drop them in the comments. I would really like even more input, because the more we learn from each other, the better it gets. And for the same reason, please like and share. The more we spread the message, the more input we get, the better we get, and the more change we can make happen. Thank you for watching.